What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are working on the Grogu. This is the Lupo that we imported in a previous video. Bobby picked it up. Today we're doing freaking bag riders and air ride stuff. Right now we've got this just kind of in here. We already ran the harness to the battery. We have to run the remote wire. We got to run the controller wire. We got to put the bags on. We got to run the lines. We got to do a lot of stuff. But this is where we're at right now. And then just a little preview of the wheels. That's what the wheels are going to look like for, where are we going? Eurofest and Euro Tripper. Yes. Bobby's car, my car, his brother's car. We all got accepted into Mutt's Nuts, so we're going to be on that little part of the show field in the front towards the stage. So if you guys are there, come check out the cars, come say hi. We're not going to do too much of a detailed install on this. It's pretty much like installing coilovers, but you're just also running airline. Same concept. You just want to make sure that the airline's away from any moving parts, exhaust, anything that'll get it hot and melt it. So yeah, we're going to finish running everything inside the car, then we're going to get this thing on jack stands, and we'll show you a little bit of the install for the bags itself, where we run the lines and everything like that, just in case one of you import a Lupo and want to put air ride on it. Or if you live across the pond and you already have a Lupo and you want to put air ride on it, you can watch this video and see what we do. And if you already have air on your Lupo, show me your trunk setup. Tag me on Instagram and let me see what you got going on. We're gonna get back to this. We'll check back in a bit. Oh yeah, and for those of you who like to know about our weather, Miles, shout out to you. It's crappy and rainy today. It's like 70 degrees, so the weather's good, but it's just rainy. Got a nice little storm front coming through. But luckily, we're in a garage. All right, guys, we are back. We've got the tank ready to go. We had to run to Home Depot to get a couple of fittings because Bag Riders doesn't include everything that you need. So make sure before you start the install, you double check your tank. Make sure you have every fitting, everything you need to finish the job. Right now, Bobby's taking apart the little back panel things because that's where we have to get into to take the rear struts out. We've got the lines ran and hidden for the power. And yeah, we're just gonna finish this up. Probably mount the tank, mount the manifold, compressors there, that'll go there as well. Compressor line is going to go straight to this fitting here. This is going to go to the water trap and then to the manifold, and then all the air lines come out from there. So we're almost ready to get this thing up on jack stands. We'll check back in a few. Check it out. So we have the trunk just kind of placed in there. Wires are all hooked up, ran, everything's good there. We still need to run the lines. We just got the car up onto jack stands. I think we're probably going to start back here because the rear is kind of the unknown, but I've never installed bags on anything older than a Mark IV before, so it'll be a little bit of a learning curve. Up front on this car, it looks just like a Mark III with the 2 bolts there and the 1 nut up top holding the mount in. We also have the controller kind of where we want it. It's gonna go right in there. We'll show you once it's all done where it's actually gonna be. That's it for now. We're gonna start taking this apart. We'll check back in. All right, guys, we are at a stopping point, unfortunately, because we did not do our due diligence to see if we had everything. Front bags are in, so we're good there. Both sides are in. That's all good. But because this is a Lupo, we had to get bags from overseas, and upon inspection, they did not come with the fittings for the bags. I'm gonna go home and check to see if I have them. Worst case, Bobby just went ahead and ordered some on Amazon that will be here tomorrow. Hopefully his are better than the ones that I used to have on the S4 because I had them just blow out constantly because I didn't pay attention to the working PSI rating, and it was only 145. For those of you who have bags, you know that typically it's 150 and up, so they kept blowing out on me. Fortunately, they were only hooked up to the tank, so it wasn't a big deal. These are going to be hooked up to his bags, so we want to make sure that they're good because if that blows out, you lose the bag and then you're gonna squat down the road like a pickup truck. So this is how I'm leaving the car for tonight. I'm gonna head home and we'll come back tomorrow and hopefully finish this up and get it on the ground. See you then. Morning, guys. It is Sunday. We are back working on the Lupo today and we're gonna finish it up. Bobby's cranking away on the top strut bolt, strut nut, whatever you want to call it. The fitting's on its way from Amazon, so we can get this done today. We're gonna run the lines underneath the car for the front, and since it's a little bit more light out, here is the front strut installed Everything is in there. And back here, while I was gone, he went ahead and cleaned up some of the wiring. Everything looks nice, a little bit more light for you. So everything's in there. We didn't go crazy with the trunk setup because everything's going to be covered, and he has a sub that goes on top, so you won't be able to see any of this. It's just for function over looks right now. And then this is what we're doing right now. There's one over there. There's one bolt underneath, and then the spring will come out, the new Bilsteins, and the bags will go in. And then maybe we'll see this thing air out. Alright, so we are going to keep working. We will show you guys how to put the rears in once it comes to it, because it is a little bit different than your Mark II, Mark III. Mark II, Mark III bags are all one piece. And as you can see here, which I think I may have showed you yesterday, we've got the strut and the spring are separate. So a little bit different than the Mark II, III. From what you read online, the Mark II, III bags might fit on this, but I'm going to say probably not, because the bag would be kind of here, and there's not a lot of room there against the body of the car, so I'm not too sure about that. Alright, so we got the front airline is ran and secured. These bags don't come with leader lines, so for right now it's going straight into the bag via a fitting, and then the airline is running down. We secured it with a bracket here and underneath, which I'll show you. The plan is to buy leader lines for this, replace this when we do the strut mounts up top, and then actually have a leader line in here. That'll make me feel a lot better about driving this thing all the time. And down here is where the airline is ran along the frame rail. Here's the other bracket. It goes back over to the stock lines, up and over the fuel tank and exhaust, and then into the back of the car. As you can see, we're doing it with this side now. The line's not ran yet, just getting started. So we're going to run this same exact way, using the same brackets, up and over the fuel tank again, over the rear beam, and then into the car. We're still waiting on those fittings to get here for the rear bags. Once they get here, we'll be able to run those and get those installed as well, and then we're done. Alright guys, it has been a while since I've checked in, as you can tell from how dark it is outside. Fronts are done, airline's done, front wheels are even back on. We hooked up these halos that are in the new headlights that he put in, tapped those into the daytime running lights. They come out with the daytime running lights. Interior is back together. We just ran into one issue. We finally got the fittings for the bags. You can see the fitting there. The bag is assembled. However, this bracket that comes with the bags that he ordered, it goes into the bottom of the rear beam, but it looks like it needs to be trimmed. Because if you put it in like that, you can see it doesn't go all the way down. It hits the sides of the spring cup on the rear beam. So we have to do probably some trimming. We tried to do some bending to make it fit, and it's not looking like it's going to go in. So I think we've got to trim probably on this side and maybe a little bit on that side, and then it should just drop right in. But that's it for today. I've got to go home, give Archer his pill, get ready to go back to work tomorrow and finish up the week. Bobby fortunately does not work, so hopefully if he gets this done while I'm not here, he'll film it. I'll put it on the channel. You'll see his face a little bit instead of mine. Otherwise, I'm not off until Friday, so if we have to, I'll come back over Friday and we'll get it knocked out for Saturday morning, which is the show that we're going to, Eurofest. So I'll check back in with you guys. We'll finish up this video, show you how this looks on the ground. All right, see you then. What's up, guys? It is Friday. It's the day before Eurofest. I'm heading back to Bobby's because he got in some things that we needed. The car's not done yet, and we're trying to get it to Eurofest tomorrow. So he got in some leader lines for the front bags, which I'm very excited to install because I don't like the way the lines are ran right now. So I'm gonna put the leader lines on, button that front suspension up, and the rear, he was able to make the bags work. He was able to get the brackets in, but with the bottom and the top bracket in, it was so tall. You should have seen this thing. I could probably fit my whole head in between the wheel gap, and I have a big head. So he ended up installing the rear bags without the bottom bracket on and just bolting that directly to the rear beam. It seems to work. The bags are super close to rubbing, so I'm gonna take a look at it. I haven't seen it yet in person, so I'm gonna give him my opinion, and we may end up getting different bags for the rear, like Firestones or something, because apparently the Mark IV style Firestone bags will work on the Lupo. We got to finish up some of the cuts to the rear beam where the spring cup is. That's how the bag was able to fit in there. So I brought my angle grinder with me and some undercoating paint, so we're gonna get that knocked out. And then that's it. I gotta get my car ready for tomorrow. I gotta clean it, I gotta wash it, even though the weather in Florida is absolutely garbage right now, so that's fun. But tomorrow it's supposed to be pretty nice. Well, I don't know about nice, but there's a chance of rain here where I'm from, and then up in St. Augustine where we're going, the temperature's gonna be like 56 degrees, so it's gonna be a lot like last year. If any of you guys went last year, y'all know how cold and windy it was. It was brutal. I had to wear a beanie, a jacket. It was pretty crazy for Florida weather. But anyways, I'm heading to Bobby's now. I'll check in when I get there, and we'll show you what we got going on today. See you there. All right, guys, I've made it. We're gonna knock this out. First, I'm gonna do the rear. I'm gonna cut what I told you we're gonna cut. I'll show you that, paint it, knock out the front, and then we're done. We'll be good to go. That's what the rear looks like now. I told you guys we took off the bottom bracket. The bag is just bolted directly to the bottom there. So we gotta clean up some of these cuts here, trim right here, paint it, put the bag back in, and then we're good. And then make sure the lines are ran up out of the way of the exhaust and any moving parts. Alright guys, I don't know how it goes from being like 55 yesterday to 80 today, but I am sweating. We got the front bags back in. I have installed the leader line. I used the same hole, just a different bracket to hold the leader line in. Everything looks good there. Just need to trim the air line and plug it in on both sides. They are done. Back here, we've got the bag mounted back in. It's still super close to touching down there, if you can see that, but I think we'll be okay. I still want to get new bags for the rear though, because if you look under here, under load, let me move the light, it is like, it's touching. It's pretty much touching over there, and over there I think we're good. That looks okay. But here, right there's not much I can do about that. I've already shifted the bag as forward as possible and it's still touching. So what's that mean? I think that means Firestone rear bags, but we'll see how this goes. I'm just waiting for Bobby to get back out here, and then I'm gonna have him turn the front wheel side to side to check for clearance and make sure that this doesn't catch on anything. Make sure nothing's gonna snag or be too tight or anything. Then I will tighten these, get everything buttoned up, front wheels back on the ground. And then on the rear, I'm just gonna show him what my discovery is, see what he thinks, and see how he feels about it. We're probably still gonna run it for now because we're still trying to make it to Eurofest tomorrow. I think that with pressure in the bags, it'll be fine, it shouldn't rub, but we'll find out once we actually get the car on the ground and put some air in it and kind of see where it sits in that lower spring cup, make sure it doesn't rub. All right, so it's on the ground. It started, and we're running the calibration for the management now. Bobby's inside the car.
Compressor's low.
Oh, so yeah, the compressor will go off a lot during this. There's a calibration you have to do on this system. You go through a bunch of steps. You set like the max height, and now it's gonna go through and check the front bags, it looks like. Yeah, basically during this process, it lets out air and adds air in the front and the rear into the tank. The compressor runs and make sure everything that works properly. It does that. So if you guys ever go through this and you're like, oh, the compressor keeps going off, it's supposed to do that. But I think we got the front dialed in pretty good. We added a little bit of camber, so now they'll fit well. The rear is super high with these bags, like I was saying before. Let's see if we can get the Firestones, because aired out, they do still rub on the lower spring cup a little bit. So we're gonna run through this and we will show you what it looks like once it's all done, it's on the ground, and then that'll be it. We'll see you guys at Eurofest. All right, guys, we are done. We did the calibration. We set the ride height, the air out height, all that stuff. So I'm gonna have Bobby fire it up and we'll show you what we got going on. All right, so now he's gonna air out. So you can see we were able to adjust the camber a little bit, so now we've got it tucking in the front. Got some super tuck, and in the back it's probably still hitting the fender because there's not anything to adjust back here. So she's real tight. We gotta get different wheels and tires. That's on the agenda. All right, and go ahead and air it up. So this is like all the way up. You got to get over a speed bump or you're on a bad road. You can see back here we have a whole fistful of gap. And then in the front, you know, we've got maybe 2 fingers. And then go ahead and do your ride height. And then that's going to be the ride height. The rear is not as low as we'd like, but with it being a double bellow bag and touching that inner strut cup, that's where we're comfortable without possibly having a blowout. 20 PSI in the rear, 45 PSI in the front. It should ride very well. The minimum for the rear bags, they're actually Airlift, we just found out. The minimum is like 5 PSI to avoid any damages, so we're good at 20. And then it goes all the way up to like 600 PSI or something crazy. So that's it. Bobby, what do you think?
I love it. Thank you.
Hell yeah. Glad we could get this thing done. The purple wheels aren't staying forever. It's a temporary thing. We may put back on the OZs. We just need a lot smaller tire, or we might get something cool and period correct. We just got to find something for the car. All right, so that is it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, if you guys are B9 owners, go check out my grill install video because the giveaway is still going on. I'm about a quarter of the way to likes. Again, I wanted to get to 100 likes on that. I'm at about 25 or 26 right now. So we got to bump those numbers up a little bit. I'll go ahead and run the giveaway and give one of you guys a free B9 RS4 style grill. I'm going to get ready, head back home, and get ready for the show tomorrow. If you guys are at Eurofest, come up and say hi, although this video probably won't be out until after Eurofest because I'm not going to have time to edit it and get it up. So if I see you there, it was good seeing you. If not, I'll be at Eurotripper in about 3 weeks or so. So I'll see you guys there. All right, take care.